It's Sugar, okay? Back with another video. So, I'm gonna be doing a story time today. And basically, this story time is gonna be about the time that I lost my baby. If you are a new subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell next to it so that you get notified when I do post videos. If you are new to my channel, and if you have already been here and you just like gang, then you already know what to do. Okay, so I had to change like my location because the TV was like real loud and I didn't know if y'all could hear me. But yes, I am making this video because I wouldn't say that it's something that I've been holding in, but it is something that I'm, dealing with. And sometimes I do get emotional about it because I feel like that's just anybody who ever lost a baby. So yeah, things that I would say is that God makes no mistakes, and maybe the time that I was pregnant, I wasn't ready, ready to have a baby. But God knows what he's doing. And, I prayed about it and I've come a long way. That's all I could say. I came a long way from that because I literally used to cry about it every day. I thought I couldn't have kids, and I just feel like everything is a time frame. Like everything happens on time when it's meant to happen, period. This happened 2018 because it was around the time that my grandma died. And oh Lord, I hope I don't cry. But yeah, it was around the time that my grandma passed, and it was just a lot to like deal with all in one. At first I didn't know that I was pregnant until like I started having like the symptoms. Like it was stuff that I never felt before. Like it was like my period, but I would say that I was throwing up like mostly every day, night. Like it was bad. But my grandma hadn't had passed yet. She was just like sick, in and out the hospital. And I can say that when my grandma was going through all that, I was stressing, so that could be part of like why I miscarried the baby. But yeah, I was pregnant, and I was working for Home Depot at the time. I had to use the bathroom, and I was having like these really bad cramps, but I'm like, maybe it's the baby. Like, I don't know. I didn't really think nothing of it. I thought like, because I looked on Google, mind y'all, never look on Google because Google has you thinking you dying. But anyways, I looked on Google, and I can't remember exactly what Google said, but I just know that it was something stupid, and I know that wasn't happening to me. But it did say like when you're in the beginning of your pregnancy that you do cramp, because the baby is like developing or whatever. And so I went to the bathroom and I saw like blood. If I still got that picture that I sent my mom and my sister, I'll put it in here so that y'all can see. But it was like a big blood clot, and if you look at it, it did look like a little like fetus. Like it looked like a baby. And I didn't want to like think that, because I wanted my baby. Like I wanted to be a mother. Like I really did. When I found out I was pregnant, I was like in shock. Like I was happy, and like I don't know. But my mom and my sister the picture of it, and I'm like, because I didn't know what was going on. And my sister, she was like, you need to go to the hospital like ASAP. And my mom called me, and she was like, what? She was like, you need to go to the hospital to tell them that you need to go. Like, you need to go right now. So I'm like, okay. So like, I didn't want to tell them like, really my business. So I just told them like I messed up my clothes so I could leave work, because my job was like really like strict. They didn't care if you was like sick. They'll be like, oh, you could take a 30-minute break and see if you feel okay after that or whatever. So I just told them like I messed up my clothes, which I really did, but I had on black pants, so you couldn't tell like that it was a lot of blood coming out. So my mom, she told me to leave my car at my job. I left my car. We left and went to the hospital. And when we got there, I was so nervous because I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind was a miscarriage, because I had been stressing because my grandma had passed then. Then she had passed, like, so I went to the hospital and they were like, yeah, like they did an ultrasound. It was like, it's nothing there. Maybe you passed it when you was bleeding today, maybe the baby came out or whatever like that. And I'm like, wow, maybe that was my baby. That was, that I showed my mom and my sister when I sent them that picture. And they was telling me like, yeah, it's no baby there. And my eyes just filled up with water because I was so hurt. I was so hurt. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know anything. Like, so when I went back in the other room with my mom, she was like, so what did they say? Her being a grandparent, she was happy. She just wanted to hear good news overall. And I had to tell her, they said it was no baby. So my mom like, no, maybe it's too like early. Like, she had high hope. She didn't want to hear nothing negative. She was like, maybe it's too early for them like to detect the baby. Like, and in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, maybe she right. But then again, I was like, no, because I know my body, and my body just felt weird. Like, before it felt like a baby was in there, then it didn't. So I had to schedule an appointment with my OBGYN, and they were literally sending me like everywhere. Like, I went from this doctor to that doctor to this doctor to that doctor. They was just sending me everywhere, but I was willing to, risk it all for my baby, because I was like, maybe they can't see anything right now. Maybe they just don't know. And I really had high hope, like, after that, like, after my mom giving me those like encouraging words and trying to uplift me, I was like, yeah, maybe my mom's right. Like, maybe my baby's still in there. So like, I still carried myself as if I was pregnant. I still took care of myself as if I was pregnant. And everybody, like every doctor that I went to, they did tests, they did blood tests and all of that, and it was no baby. And finally I went to my last doctor, and they told me that I had a miscarriage. And I was like, I was broken then. I was broken, because I look back on everything that I did when I didn't know that I was pregnant. I look back on everything that I did, and it was mainly like stressed and me being stressed about my grandma, and when she died, that really, like, I was all over the floor. I was all over the floor, like, I didn't care. So I think that really, like, played a big part in everything, like I said. But yeah, like, I know everything happened for a reason, and we don't know why, and I will never question God on why it happened, because everything happens for a reason. And I know that God have bigger and better things, you know, planned for me. And I pray, when I pray, I ask God for a baby. Like, I do. I ask God for a baby, but like I said, I just feel like everything is God's timing. Everything is His timing. So, yeah, that sometimes I really do think about like that, and I try not to, but it's life. That's all for today, guys.